Welcome back, everyone. It is time once again for something even the Geneva Convention cannot prevent. Here's Trtan back time.
Be back with Trtan back time.
Geneva Convention. Nice. Pulled that one out of left field. All right, here we go. This week, July 8, 1776, the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence is given. Citizens of Philadelphia were summoned to the State House yard by the bells of the city. At noon, Colonel John Nixon publicly read the Declaration for the first time. Following the event and continuing long into the night, the bells of the city rang in celebration. No, that's not when the Liberty Bell was cracked. In 1889, the last official U.S. bare-knuckle boxing match, where John L. Sullivan defends his title by knocking out Jack Kilrain in the 75th round for the U.S. Heavyweight Championship.
What?
Yes. The rules used to be that whenever you knocked a person down, that ended the round, and then you would start the next one. So you could have a round that was just 30 seconds.
Oh.
So that's when he could not, that was before the Marquess of Queensberry rules. So there you go.
Of course.
A happy birthday to John Stith Pemberton. 1831, American pharmacist created Coca-Cola in 1886, called it a steamed brain tonic and intellectual beverage.
God bless him.
He started out by trying to create an opium-free pain relief medicine to alleviate his addiction to morphine, which started as a result of wounds he received during the Civil War. The original formula contained about 9 milligrams of cocaine per glass, but this was reduced to trace amounts by the early 1900s, eliminated altogether, despite what you might think, in 1929. Happy birthday to Marty Feldman, born in 1934, probably best known for his role as Igor in Young Frankenstein, and also Sergeant Orville Sacker in Sherlock Holmes' Smarter Brother. That was in 75. July 9th, 1993, Canadian Darwin Award winner Gary Hoy liked to demonstrate the tensile strength of his building windows by running up against them and bouncing off. A study had performed many times. However, on this date in 1993, the window glass popped out of the frame. Hoy fell from the 24th story, earning him the Darwin Award in 1996. He was described as one of the best and brightest at his firm, which closed 3 years later.
Wow.
Happy birthday to Tom Hanks, born in 1956. You're like, what hasn't he done? Okay, so everybody knows Tom Hanks. In 1985, after much public outcry and, of course, poor sales, Coca-Cola announces it is bringing back its original formula and calling it Coca-Cola Classic. People still ask if this was a big mistake or an incredible marketing strategy. Lasted about 3 months. In 1962, Telstar is launched, sending the first commercial transmission of live television via satellite. And happy birthday to Mr. Wizard, Don Herbert. Born in 1917, he was on TV. The show was Watch Mr. Wizard. He showed kids all these different experiments and everything. Mr. Wizard and Bill Murray were the first guests on Late Night with David Letterman when it previewed in 1982. Yeah. July 11, 1979, the 82-ton U.S. space station Skylab crashes to Earth. About 22 tons were expected to survive re-entry, which caused a lot of concern. However, it landed safely over the Indian Ocean in Australia. The Shire of Esperance in Western Australia fined NASA $400 for littering.
Oh, gosh.
In 1882, the U.S. Patent Office declares Joseph Swan of England had invented the carbon filament incandescent lamp a year before Thomas Edison.
Ooh.
That's the United States Patent Office. Happy birthday to Yul Brynner. Tadye Khan is his name, was anyway. Born July 11th, 1920, the King of Siam. He was the King of Siam in 4,625 Broadway performances of The King and I. On July 12th, 1960, the popular drawing toy, the Etch-a-Sketch, is first produced. Could you do anything like that on your Etch-a-Sketch? Yeah. In 1958, the Quarrymen recorded their first song, In Spite of All Danger. They later became the Silver Beatles, and finally, the Beatles. In the Quarrymen, there was John, Paul, and George. And a happy birthday to Milton Teagle Simmons, better known as Richard Simmons, born in 1948, became what might be called America's fitness guru, created Deal a Meal, and of course, Sweatin' to the Oldies. And finally, this. What is the difference between a well-dressed person on a bicycle and a poorly dressed person on a unicycle?
One wheel.
A tire.
A tire.
Fits both ends.
A tire.
Yes. That's it for this edition of Turton Back Time. Hit it, share.
Feel like we're turning